project. The video we were watching here.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay.
No.
Always wrong. Plus some know-it-all stuff about physics and molecules. What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors, they are actual litigants. Both parties have agreed to have their case settled here, before Judge Marilyn Mainframe, in our forum, the People's Court.
Your Honor, I'd like to admit this letter into evidence, just as soon as I read it. Dear Tim and Moby, how does a thermos keep my soup from getting cold? Thanks, Mrs. Nichols' class. Now, Your Honor, Mrs. Nichols' class brings up an interesting point. Because, as we've all noticed, hot things don't stay hot. Once soup or cocoa or single origin fair trade coffee comes off the stove, it starts to get colder. And it'll keep cooling off until it's the same temperature as the room. Cold drinks do the opposite. They'll keep warming up until they reach the temperature of their surroundings. Yes, putting a cold drink in a thermos will slow the warming. Or the cooling, if we're talking about a hot drink. So, the plaintiff's foofy espresso drink would stay hot longer, but not forever. Wait long enough, and that macchiato will be room temperature. Thermoses work because they minimize heat transfer. Heat always flows from warmer objects to cooler ones. And the greater the difference in temperature, the faster it'll happen. The only way to keep some coffee from cooling is to put it somewhere just as hot. Is the plaintiff suggesting I heat my establishment to 140 degrees? Because I really must point out, 140 is the only proper temperature for a macchiato, or for... Sorry, Your Honor, I get a little carried away. Now, we've established that heat's always on the move, from warmer to cooler objects, and that a thermos can slow this process down. But to understand why, we need to get closer, a lot closer. Coffee, like any other substance, is made of tiny particles called molecules, and they're constantly jiggling and bumping into each other. In other words, they have kinetic energy, the energy of motion. Of course, we can't see any of this microscopic action, but we can feel it in the form of temperature. That's the average kinetic energy of all the molecules in an object. The warmer something feels, the faster its molecules are moving. I'm getting to the point, Your Honor, I promise. Because all of this microscopic motion is what makes heat transfer happen. First, through conduction, the transfer of kinetic energy by direct contact. When you hold a cup of coffee, your hands get warm. That's because molecules in the hot cup are slamming into molecules in your cooler hands. This is conduction. With each collision, the faster molecule slows down, and the slower one speeds up. Multiply that by a bazillion molecules, and you can guess what happens. Your hands, and the air all around the cup, absorb energy from the hot coffee, sucking away its molecular speed, which we read as a drop in temperature. But what if there weren't so many molecules around to bump into? That's one way thermoses minimize heat transfer. They're basically a bottle inside another bottle with empty space in between. It's a vacuum, a space with no molecules in it. So there's nothing there for the molecules in that hot bottle to bump into. Heat loss through conduction happens only at the very top of the bottle, where it's attached to the outer container. Well, there is one type of heat transfer that can go through a vacuum. It's called radiation. It also comes from the movement of particles, but on an even smaller scale. Molecules are made up of atoms, which you've probably seen drawn like this. Those little dots orbiting the center are electrons. When atoms are energized, like when they're heated up, electrons absorb some of that energy, but they don't hang on to it for long. They release the energy as a form of invisible light known as radiation. Molecules that absorb this radiation move faster, same as they would through conduction. That's why the inside of thermoses are often made of shiny substances. Since radiation is a kind of light, these materials reflect a lot of it back inside. Sorry, Judge, just the third and final type of heat transfer to cover. It's called convection, and it happens when a substance is unevenly heated. In convection, heat is transferred by molecules traveling from one place to another instead of just jiggling back and forth. That's why convection only happens in liquids and gases. They're called fluids because they have no fixed shape and flow easily. Heating water on a stove is a good example. The molecules at the bottom speed up, creating more space around themselves. This liquid becomes less dense or tightly packed, making it lighter than the liquid above it. So it rises through the heavier stuff away from the heat source. But then it cools down, becoming denser, so it sinks again. Warmer liquid rises and displaces the colder liquid at the top. This flow of material is called a convection current. This vintage coffee percolator works on the principle of convection, and it makes a wonderfully balanced cup of rendering a decision, but I was gonna froth some oat milk for my closing argument. One free half-calf caramel macchiato in a thermos.
Okay. So did you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about heat transfer from hot things to the cold. Heat transfer from hot to cold, right? Now we're not, sorry, we're not going to the graded one. We're going to do the review one. Okay. Question number 1. What happens when a cold drink sits in a hot room?
It gets warmer.
It gets warmer. Alina? Alina, are you there?
Oh no, she's not in this call.
Oh, she's okay. Alina, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what's the answer?
Um,
What happens when a cold drink sits in a hot room?
it starts boiling. Let's see.
It gets warmer. Okay, next. Which of the following best describes temperature? Number of molecules, motion of molecules, size of molecules, or type of molecules?
Um,
How would you
motion,
best?
motion of molecules.
Okay, Alina?
Um, type of molecules.
Okay, we'll choose one and see. Good. It's, what was the answer? Motion of molecules. Okay, when two things are the same temperature, it actually showed the motion and how the temperature works. If you're seeing the video, it was showing us when two things are the same temperature, they have the same number of molecules, their molecules stop moving, their molecules move at the same average speed, heat transfer between the two things stops.
A.
A? Okay. When two things are the same temperature, they have the same number of molecules.
I think it's C.
Their molecules move at the same average speed. Okay, We saw this video 2 times, and it told us what molecules are in detail. It told us, about an atom. What is an atom? It's the basic unit of, is the basic unit, smallest thing. Atom is the smallest unit. Just like in human beings, there's a cell. Okay. Um, So the smallest thing that forms um, animals and plants, it's a cell. In the same way, in non-living objects, the smallest unit is a cell, is a is an atom. Am I sharing my screen? Can you see my screen?
No. No.
When did it stop sharing?
Oh, I think right now.
Right now. Okay. Yes. So I just wanted to make it clear that cell is the basic unit of, smallest, it's a
Life,
unit of
basic unit of life.
life, right? The cells. So there's animal cells and plant cells, okay? In the same way, an atom is, Aisha, can you tell me what an atom is?
I think it's the basic unit of a chemical element.
Yeah, it's the smallest unit, atom, which has an atom. It showed in the video as well, has a nucleus and protons in the middle and electrons in the outer orbit. These are orbits, right? Proton and neutron and electrons, and so that makes an atom. Okay, and that's the smallest unit. And cell is for the basic unit of life. Okay, and what are molecules? It showed in the video. All the atoms combine together to make molecules. Atom is a single unit. Okay, if it has two or more, becomes molecules. So when two things are the same temperature, what did you say, Aisha?
I said their molecules move at the same average speed.
Okay, correct. Very good. Next, when you heat a pot on a stove, when you heat a pot on a stove, the handle gets warm. Which type of heat transfer is responsible?
Oh,
Conduction, radiation, convection, and all of the above.
I think it was conduction. Wait,
Conduction.
okay.
Yes. Conduction is when you hold. Um, let me see. We're getting. Okay. So it is convection and showed in the video. So I'm recording this and I'm going to post it on YouTube. So, Alina, you can watch it over and over again, okay?
Okay.
So you'll have the concept clear of atoms and molecules because it shows in the video very clearly, okay? So if you have some confusion, the classes that we do, I can record and post them on Saba's Academy YouTube, and what will happen is you'll get a chance to do it again. So once I give homework, I usually do that. I post the video so you know how to do it. Okay, when you heat a pot on a stove, the handle gets warm. Which type? Okay, you said conduction. We did that. Okay, next. We're running out of time. Okay, which of the following best describes a vacuum? Hot, cold, shiny, or empty?
Empty?
Alina?
Empty.
Yes. Next, and that was also in the video. Sorry, list the following practices in particles in size Order from biggest to smallest. Molecules, electrons, or atoms? Atoms, molecules, and electrons. Electrons, atoms, and molecules. Molecules, atom, or electrons. Now this will make it very clear which is smaller and which is the biggest.
I think it's A.
Molecules. So we have to start from the biggest to the smallest,
Yeah.
right? So you're saying molecules, electrons, and atoms. That's what you're saying? Alina, your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's D.
D.
Oh yeah, maybe it's D too. Yeah, it
Yes.
could be.
Molecules are made up of atoms, right? So it's the biggest. An atom, okay, I told you the nucleus has protons and neutrons, neutrons and protons, and then there are electrons, okay?
Yeah, it is D.
So electrons is a part of an atom, correct? So molecules is the biggest atom and electrons are a part of the atom, so it's D, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, thermoses work because they minimize which kind of heat transfer? Conduction and convention, conduction and radiation, convection and radiation, or conduction, convection, and radiation?
They.
B.
If you don't know, you can even guess. It's better to guess because if you can say I don't know, but probably this is the one, because if you leave it, then you get 0, right? But if you make a guess and it's correct, you still get a point, right? So that's why if you don't know, it was explained in the movie about conduction. Remember when the movie was holding the cup of coffee? So when the hands were getting warm, that was conduction, right? So
Um,
thermos work because they minimize what kind of heat transfer?
B. Conduction and radiation.
Alina?
I said B. Conduction and radiation.
Okay, Aisha?
I don't know. I maybe D.
Maybe D?
I
Okay,
think you
so
should click on D.
you want me to choose B? Correct. Okay. There is no radiation in it. Okay? Heat from the sun reaches Earth through which type of heat transfer? Conduction, radiation, convection, or all of the above?
Um, radiation.
Good job. Okay. Convection currents occur only in liquids when a dense substance is warmer than a less dense substance in both liquid and gases, weakly in solids. That was a funny one.
In both liquids and gases.
Okay. Alina?
Um,
Or maybe B.
I think
When a dense
A.
substance is warmer than a less dense substance?
I don't know, because I think they mentioned something like that in the video.
In the video, yes.
But I don't know if that's for convection. I think it is.
Convection, it said it's only in liquids, but you can just make a you can make a choice in both liquids and gases. You said you want me to press that and see find out?
Okay.
Correct. Okay. So it's actually gases and liquids and gases convection. Okay? 10. All of the above are examples of convection and currents except convection currents except which all of the following are examples except one, okay? Warm air rising in a house, cold water shaking to the bottom of the lake, water flowing through pipes, steam from hot soup rising into the air.
A.
It says are examples of convection except.
Oh,
So only one is not convection, all the three are.
okay.
C.
Who said B?
I said C.
Who said C?
Me.
Okay.
Aisha.
Alina?
Um, B.
B and one is saying C, right?
Yes.
Okay. I put C because water flowing through the pipes is not convection. Remember what happened? Hot air has to go up, right? And
Uh,
cools down, and there's a movement of a cycle of hot air. That is convection. So water moving through a pipe is not convection. So if there's water cooling down, going up, heating up and cooling down, that's a part of convection. If you have coffee and the hot air is coming up, it's convection, right? It's a whole
right.
cycle. The good idea is I'll post inshallah the video and you can see it again. Okay? You
Okay.
see it 2, 3 times, it will become more clear. We saw it twice today. So
Okay.
that was answers were easy. Okay. Going to go to math quickly because then we have the bacteria thing too. So to do, and we're already 37. We're supposed to do 20 minutes each, but we've played the video late twice. So there we are. We're going to do grade 10. It's a different way we're doing that. Okay, still unable to sign in. Okay. So today we did prime factorization. I gave you. Did anyone do homework?
Yeah, but then um I
Okay.
refreshed the page and then I went to the beginning again.
Okay, that's fine. It's a good thing you did questions. Okay. I have this point system I do with stars, and it helps me to keep in track who's doing more homework and who's doing less. So it looks like this, and I give point for homework stars. Okay, and this is the previous students, but then I'm going to make new ones, and then I'm going to give stars for the homework that you guys do. Okay, I'll take 5 in one group. So I'm going to go back to this. Was it here or was it there?
It was the app.
It was in the app.
Yeah.
Where's the app?
Um. There it is.
But I already started it, remember? Yes. So the good
Um.
thing about this is it starts from where we left yesterday. You see 49 on the top?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So it shows where we start left off over here. So that's a good thing about signing in. Okay, write the prime factorization of 42. Use exponents when appropriate and order the factors from least to the greatest. 42. Factors.
221. You're right. You're doing the opposite. You have to switch them. 2 is on the other side. 21's on the other side.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but I always do it that way. So
Okay, that's fine. Correct. So we have factors 2, 3, and 7. So what should I write in the box? Alina?
2 to the power of 2, then the decimal point, and um,
Okay, 2,
3,
3.
7.
Correct? Every time it shows me different.
I think you're using. Okay. Yeah, you're using the wrong dots.
Yes. Because it's showing me a different tool. The
Yeah.
keyboard was different. That's why. Okay. But the answer is correct. Okay. You answered 237. 237 is correct, as you can see over here. 237 is the correct answer. Just the dots that I used was wrong. Okay. I'm going to try to see what happened to the keyboard. Write the prime factorization of 8. Use exponents when appropriate and order the factors from least to the greatest. Okay, so go ahead. 8. Factors of 8.
2, 4, and then 2, 2. So 2, 2, 2. So 2 to the power of 3.
Okay, so we'll make it clear. 4, 2, and 2 times 2. The basic is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 8 is 8. That's factorization, okay? So we have prime ones are this. So you can write 2 to the power what?
3.
Yes. 2. Why come the other board is not showing?
You have to look on those. You see those 2 squares beside the slash? Yeah, and now I 3.
Okay. Yes, it worked. So the dot I used was wrong, right? Last time. I think I had to use this one, the one besides the plus sign. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the correct answer. Next. Write the prime factorization 21. Use exponents when appropriate. Order the factors from least to the greatest. For example, this. Okay. Factorization of 21. Alina, your turn.
um,
You can do it in your notebook. If you have a notebook with you, it's a good idea to have a notebook. So you can solve it in your notebook and then tell me, okay?
okay.
Why can't I annotate on your screen.
You can if you like. You want to annotate?
Yeah, but I
Go
can't.
ahead. It's not annotating? Giving the
You just,
permission?
yeah.
Okay, let me see what happened here. Okay. Ice is still here. Is he having a class or what?
So, the teacher is not there. I mean, not here.
Aiza, your class is up. Assalamu alaikum. See you tomorrow, inshallah, okay?
I think her video is frozen.
Okay. Right. So you want the annotation, and I'm going to give you the annotation. I first have to find out who is the um, host. Yes, if I'm the host, then I should be able to meeting settings. Okay. Annotate. Okay, annotation is on. Can you annotate now?
Yeah.
Why is it making me annotate now?
Click on the X button, the red one.
Where is it?
Um,
Okay. No, not this one. Is it allowing you to do it?
yeah.
Okay. As long as you can do it. So we're still there. Yes. So see, comes back to the same question. Um,
Would you do 2 to the power of 2, the decimal point, and then
okay, can you write on the screen? Can you annotate?
no, it won't let me.
It's not allowing you. Aisha is allowing you.
Yeah, I do see it.
So use it and show me on your screen how to do this.
Okay. So, for 21. I don't think 21 is divided by 2, so 3 and then 7.
It's not you think so. Obviously, there's no 2 at the end. No
Yeah,
2. It can't come in table of 2. Either it has to be 0 or 2. So obviously it's 7 times 3. All right, so it's not going to come in table of 2. 7 times 3 is 21. So if you know your tables, it's 7 and 3, right?
yeah,
So you see
that's
how,
what I
Alina, you can even write on the screen yourself. So there's this box at the bottom. It will show you whenever I put this annotation on, even you can use it. Okay, Alina?
Okay, but I'm trying to undo the screen, but it won't let me like do it.
No, you don't have to share. If you, yeah, you can share the screen too. Then I would disable my screen and you can share it. But you don't have to share it when we can all write together on the same screen.
Okay.
Okay? So if you want to show your homework, then I will disable the screen sharing and you can start sharing. Okay? So when the teacher is sharing, the student cannot share until I allow you. In the same way, if I open annotation, and then we all can write together on the same screen. So the answer here is because it's from the least to the greatest. So we will put 3. Okay, maybe this dot this time. Is it
yeah,
correct? Yes.
yeah,
Oops, I made a mistake. Doesn't matter, it'll come back. Okay, there we are. So it was 3.7, 7 times 3. This dot means multiplication, right? It means multiple. 2
multiply.
times 3, 3 times 7 is 21. And prime means it cannot further be divided, so the smallest. Like prime numbers, right? Prime has always 1, 3, 5, 7, 11. These numbers are prime numbers. Next. Write the prime factorization 7. Use exponents when appropriate and order the factors from least to the greatest, for example. Who's going to do this? Alina, Aisha?
7 is a prime number, so it doesn't have any except 1 and 7.
Very good, mashallah. So that's the only one, okay? And it's saying brilliant. So it was showing exponents. You know how it's making it tricky? Write all and exponents and all that, but 7 is a prime number, so there is this 1 times 7 is 7. That's it. Okay, write the prime factorization of 50. Use exponents where appropriate. Order the factors from least to the greatest. Okay, and it was saying from the least to the greatest. There was only one. So you have to think about it. Okay, 50. Alina, I want you to write on the screen how you will do that. And the number here is 50.
Okay. How do I write on the screen?
If you see like few options on top of your screen, and then click on it, and you'll see annotate, and then you can draw.
Okay. So I do 50. Let me draw on here. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
do it with me. I'm gonna do draw.
Can you find it? Can you find this bar annotation?
Yeah, I found it, but it won't let me draw on here. So I do it.
You have to press on the pen, the color, which one you like, what type of pen you want to use. You see over here? There's a pen. There's this. You can erase. You can make it. You can use these things. If this box is there, then it's easy for you to use.
Okay.
It's okay because you haven't used Zoom before. That's why it's going to take a little bit of time. But I want you to use the tools, so it's easier, right?
Right.
Yeah. So when we are doing something, we can all write on the same screen. That's why I'm asking you. But other students have been using for quite a lot of months, so that's why.
Okay.
Okay, in the meantime, Alina is trying to figure out. Alina, you can keep trying, okay? Because even when, okay, you found it, right?
Yeah, I found it.
Okay. So now you can see the color of your pen. You can choose any color. You can erase. You can clear. You can, yeah, so chose the pen and you chose black.
Yes.
This is the idea. If you choose black, Aisha can choose, like she chose blue, and I can do red. So if we're all writing together, then we know who's writing. And there's an option of where I can have actually the name of the person who's writing. I didn't click on that. If I click, then it would show who's writing. Okay?
Right.
Go ahead. Let's do this question, and we have to go to bacteria and finish it off. And I'll just do the reading, and then you can read by yourself. So let's just do this as the final one. We're almost running out of time.
Okay. For 7 to 50, can I put that into like 10 and 5 or no? Like
Yes,
10
you
and
can.
5.
Yes, because the last ones will be, it can be, if 10 can be further divided, then you would do that.
Okay.
Okay? So it's going to be another one. So if you're saying 10 and 5, that's correct. Okay?
Right.
Now, 5 doesn't further divide, but 10 does. So you're going to do 2 and 5. So 5 2s are 10, 10 5s are 50. So our prime factors are 2, 5, 5. Okay? And how are we going to write this? We're going to write 2 dot 5. Now because there are two 5s, they're asking us to use exponents, right? So we're
Right.
going to do 5 times, like 5 times 5, which is 5 square. Yes? Everyone agrees with that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to stop over here. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll continue. And what I need to do is, what were we doing? I sent you a link. Okay, either one of you, did you? Yes.
Maybe what?
Did you read the bacteria link I sent you? We finished nitrogen, right? There it is. Did you guys read it? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No, Aisha? No, Alina?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, because it's summer break, so I'm kind of lenient, and you do it. It's okay if you. Usually, what do students read? But reason I'm doing that is because we have less time. It's like 40 minutes one class or half an hour, and then we're doing 20 minutes, so we have to do it
Toggle
fast.
navigation. Search close. Topics menu. Main navigation. Events and competitions open sub-menu. Projects open sub-menu.
No,
Educational resources open sub-menu. Professional learning open sub-menu. Volunteer open.
no, not this one. Um, yes. What's that menu? I want this to read only up till here.
Bacteria have been around for a very long time. In fact, they are the oldest known forms of life on Earth. The earliest fossils are of prokaryotes. That's a group of organisms that bacteria are part of. These fossils date back to over 3.5 billion years ago. Bacteria have evolved into a wide variety of different types since then. They have also adapted to a range of different environments. They can live inside the human body, at the North Pole, and even at the bottom of the ocean.
So you can see they can live inside the human body, and we know we all have bacteria at the North Pole and even at the bottom of the ocean. So bacteria are everywhere, right? Okay, why are we reading this very quickly? Because at 2 o'clock you just have to listen to this, because at 2 o'clock we have the quiz. Yes?
Login. Main navigation toggle navigation. Search close. Topics
Okay,
menu.
it
Main
takes it
navigation.
now.
Events and competitions open sub-menu.
Okay, we did up till here. What else do we know? Size of the bacteria. Going to just keep it here.
Bacteria are single-celled organisms. This means that each bacterium is made up of only one cell. This is very different from humans, whose bodies are made up of trillions of cells. Bacterial cells are much smaller than human cells. Bacterial cells can measure from about 1 to 10 micrometers long. Most of them are only about 1 to 2 micrometers in diameter. 1 micrometer, or micrometer, is 1,000.
Okay, so what do you understand? Bacteria are single-celled organisms. Yes? So the bacteria is made of only one single cell. Okay, this can come in the quiz too. And what else? Bacterial cells can measure about 1 to 10. What is it? What kind of measurement is this? PM is diameter. It's so tiny, right? It can't be seen by your eyes. And what else? Smaller than a millimeter. It's 1,000 times smaller than a millimeter. So we use millimeter as the smallest in our scale that we measure, and it's 1,000 times smaller. 1,000 times smaller than a millimeter. Yes? What
Yeah.
else? Tiny, smaller than the human red blood cells, which is about 7 pm um, in diameter. Okay, it's not pm, but we'll just leave it there. Okay. Um, what else do we see here? Relative size of cells and their components. Okay. Nanometer, meter, it's A. Nanotechnology. light microscope. So as you can see, this is important small molecules, viruses, you see, bacterium, animal cells. All these are cells, the smallest unit, but they are a little bigger as compared to the one. So virus is, after virus is the bacterium cells. All are single cells, but they are very, very tiny in under a light microscope. This is how it's going to show. This chart is important. And now, even though there are small bacteria, have many different parts of their cells. So this is the different parts of the cells, cell of the bacteria. The common structure that most bacteria have include, all the names are here. So we have structure of a typical bacterium. The number parts, the numbered parts are number 1, pilus, plasmid, ribosome, cytoplasm, cytoplasmic membrane, cell wall capsule, nucleus, and flagellum source. Okay, so these are the parts that's been labeled, and lots of these parts are also in other plant and animal cells, right? A lot of things are common. For example, Aisha, can you tell me what are the parts in this bacterium which are also present in animal cells?
Cytoplasm,
Yes.
cell, no, not cell wall, not cell wall.
Cell, okay.
Ribosome,
Plant cell, okay, yes.
cell wall, yeah, is in a plant cell. Um, I think flagellum is also it's
Yes.
also in a cell, and
Yes.
ribosome, cytoplasm, and
Ribosome,
I don't think cytoplasm membrane. I've never heard of that, you know.
plasma membrane, yes. Plasma membrane, it's a cytoplasmic membrane.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's in an animal cell because I never heard of it.
Yeah, cytoplasm is there, but you could compare it with animal cell or a plant cell. So the main difference is a plant cell has a wall, cell wall, and and the animal cell has a cell membrane. And this has a cell wall. Okay? So,
Plant cells also have cell membranes too, I think.
plant cells,
I think they have both. I think they have cell wall and cell membrane.
and the one that we did, let's see. Okay, where is it sharing from here?
Pili, hair-like structures that help bacteria attach to surfaces and other bacteria. Plasmids, genetic material, DNA. Ribosomes, structures that make proteins. Cytoplasm, a gel-like material in which the ribosomes and genetic material are suspended. Cytoplasmic membrane, a thin layer of phospholipids and proteins that controls the movement of nutrients in and out of the cell. Cell wall, a rigid wall that gives the cell its structure and protects the
Plasma membrane, and then capsule, nucleoid, flagellum, and classification of bacteria. We'll continue later, inshallah. Okay, is bacteria bad? You do have it. Yeah, there's a lot to do, so we have to continue later. Um, if we go here, you would see how many topics today. So at 2 o'clock we have the quiz, okay, on Zoom meeting, and Let's Talk Science. So to do that, you would need to, we were doing week 3, microbiology, right? No, yes, read 4. So what topics are left? We have uh, nitrogen cycle, bacteria. We still had 2 more to do. Marine microbiology, meet the microbes of the sea, and are microbes your friends or foe? Your enemy, your friends or yeah. Okay, that's fine. that microbes play. So okay, inshallah. So we'll continue tomorrow, but at 2 o'clock today, we have the going to stop recording. Okay.